This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi travelers. This is Heather with Talk Travel with Heather Tate, and I am so excited to share my adventures and tried and true tips with you. Whether you are also a seasoned traveler, a hopeful traveler, or currently an armchair traveler, meaning you're going to follow along with us from home for now. This is our 160th episode of Talk Travel with Heather Tate, and I've already told you a little bit about what this week's going to be all about, and that is my mother's 80th milestone birthday in Jamaica. On July 23rd, my mother celebrated her 80th birthday. Now, we have done a few trips throughout the Caribbean so far. It started with the Bahamas, and then we went to Jamaica. Last year, we went to Curacao. And when we were in Curacao last July, I started thinking, okay, this is going to be her 80th birthday next year. I want to make this a trip where not just for the two of us, but I want everyone, all women, to have an opportunity to travel because I got so much feedback. Everyone just saw my pictures on my Facebook group, Heather and Logan Tate Whimsical Destinations. And if you have never met my mother in person, but you've only seen her on Facebook, you feel like you know her because she just radiates joy and positive energy. And she knows how to just live in the moment, and the gratitude just spills out, and you can see it. You can visualize her in these pictures that she inspires people. And if you were to tell her that, she would just wave you off. Like, she just really would. She would laugh or smile and, be demure, but she doesn't realize the impact that she has. And so I started thinking, I'm so blessed to have her, and I wanted to be able to share traveling with her with other women. And so I thought, I'm going to open this up. And I told her, I was like, we are going to have a big birthday bash in Jamaica for your birthday next year. And she's like, okay, that's fine. She was excited about it. But again, she wasn't, really sure what that meant because it had normally been just the two of us going. So I told her, I was like, just wait, I'm going to invite people. We had 24 women from all over Mississippi, top of the state to the bottom of the state, who came. And these were other friends that were coming, sisters, mother-daughter relationships, so it's like a mother-daughter figures, and neighbors, and even people who before planning the trip were strangers and ended up becoming roommates and now good friends. So we just had women who wanted to go and have a fun trip to Jamaica, but also know that there are going to be other women there. So my mother has inspired many mother and daughter and other girls' trips over the last 3 years especially. So I, wanted to give other people the opportunity. I chose Sandals Ochi in Jamaica for several reasons. I'll tell you why. That's where we went. Number one, it's the biggest sandals resort. So I knew we could get the best pricing. And with girls' trips, that was going to be important because I knew that for a lot of these women, this wasn't going to be their only trip this summer or this year. So budget was important. They were going to be doing trips with their families, their husbands. And so they needed to be mindful of price. So that's one reason why I chose Sandals Ochi. And it's also perfect for groups because it's a large resort. Everyone thinks of Sandals as being couples only because that's how they really market. But it's really about celebrations. It's adults only, 18 and up. And I've done so many girls' trips over the years that I knew that Sandals Ochi would be a great destination for a girls' trip. And we were not the only girls' trip there when we went. I think we're the largest. So we had women who were going for as low as $600 each before flights for the 4 days and 3 nights. So we're talking $200 a person per night, including all of their foods, drinks, activities in the resort like snorkeling, glass bottom boats, activities at the pool, nightly shows. So it was going to be a really good value. Also, number two, why I chose Sandals Ochi, there's great flight options, both into Montego Bay, Jamaica, which is the largest, most popular airport in Jamaica. The only downside for Montego Bay from where we were staying in Ochi is the distance. It's about a 2-hour transfer. And I knew that was going to be hard on my mom because I'm trying to be very conscientious of traveling with her because it will exhaust her. And I learned that from Curacao last year. I needed something convenient, close to the airport for her. So Ochi was another reason because they just opened a new international airport in Ocho Rios called Ian Fleming. located almost directly across the street from the former beaches Ocho Rios. And they were going to have short flights. So it was American only, one flight in a day from Miami. So our plan then was that we were going to fly in the night before to Miami, overnight there. So it would break up the flight. She wouldn't have to worry about being rushed for the tight connection. See, these are all things that I've learned. And then the next day we'd get up, we'd have an hour and a half flight, and we'd be there 15 minutes away from the airport. So that really worked well. So flights were a big reason I chose Sandals Ochi. Number 3, they had the best price butler rooms with a semi-private pool. My first visit to Sandals Ochi, I was invited to a wedding event where we got to learn all about the resorts and Sandals at Sandals Ochi, Sandals Royal Plantation, and Beaches Ocho Rios at the time. And I was invited to go there, and we got to tour all of those resorts. And when I did, we saw the Butler Villas located in Sandals Ochi. And these are very popular rooms that I booked for my guests, mainly because they're the best priced Butler Resort rooms and the best price for a semi-private pool. I knew my mother was not likely to swim in the ocean or in the large pools, but I thought if she had a semi-private pool, she would be more likely to enjoy it. So I knew that was one reason why I needed to pick Sandals Ochi. And the fourth reason is for the rabbit hole. And what the rabbit hole is the first speakeasy in the Caribbean. So it's 1920s themed. Think Great Gatsby. And I thought there would be no cooler way to have her big 80th birthday celebration than for all the women to have flapper dresses and go out for the night for dancing, for music, for drinks. And it lived up to my expectations. One of my favorite moments was an impromptu pool party at our room. We had just checked in. I ordered room service because we were going to eat a late dinner later that evening. And we just invited everybody who wanted to come over that was settled into their rooms just to come on down and, grab a bite to eat and float in the pool and just, kind of chill out before we went to dinner. And it was exactly what I envisioned when I went to Sandals Ochi for the first time 6 years ago. I saw those Butler and Club Villas and I thought this would make the ideal girls trip. Like, how amazing would it be to go here with, 8+ of my friends and have a villa and just get to share the pool together and go out to eat together every night and hang out at the beach and the main pool during the day. And that's exactly what we did. It was literally like I had manifested that moment from 6 years before. Our very first night, we went to a beachside dinner, and the entire restaurant sang happy birthday to my mom. This is on my Facebook group, and I'd love for you to see it because it is nothing short of magical seeing her face during that. We carpooled there. This was hilarious. We had 6 women from the Guntown, Baldwin, Tupelo area that were riding together, including my mother-in-law, Nellie, my mom, myself, and then 3 other of my friends. We all carpooled together and went to the Birmingham airport, stayed the night in Miami at Embassy Suites, which is a great hotel if you're wanting a free shuttle to and from the Miami airport and being close by, including a hot made-to-order breakfast. We had a fantastic time there. Like, the party started the day we left for the airport, and we knew after that 2.5-hour ride to Birmingham that we were going to have a blast because you shouldn't have as much fun in an airport as we did in Birmingham and Miami. You just shouldn't. And we did. It was like a giant sleepover, and it was so much fun. I planned us to have it one full beach day and one pool day, which we did. We booked some beachside cabanas, which were right on the water. They included our butler service with drinks. Lunch was brought to us. We had a bottle of wine, and we got to have 10-minute massages. That was my mom's first experience with a massage, and I am so glad because she would not have let me book a longer massage for her. She just wouldn't have, but it was just short enough that I got her to agree, and she loved it. So we read in our cabanas. Every once in a while, I'd get in the water and splash around and wave at her from the cabana. She was perfectly happy, like the queen she is on her throne, but it was a beach cabana. The next day, we spent all day at our main pool. We read, we watched the pool games, the volleyball games. Our friend Brandy can dance, and so she entertained us the entire day. It was so much fun, and everybody would just come by. We had so many chairs taken up at the pool where a lot of the women, they did different things. Like, we weren't staying together as a group of 24 at all, but we would meet up at different points for dinner. We had, besides our dinner the first night, we had dinner at the Southern Table, which, believe it or not, was inspired by Cracker Barrel. Yes, it was, and it was very good. And we had dinner our last night at the French restaurant Le Gourmand, and I will say, best French onion soup still. Loved it. By our pool every morning, besides one where I talked Mother into going to have a wonderful breakfast. But we would see cats and even a mongoose here and there running around. So much fun. But the highlight for me was by far going to the rabbit hole that Friday night. Everybody dressed up. I think we had 16 women that came into our group, all in flapper dresses. We danced, we sang, we took tons of pictures and videos, some which cannot be shown because we were having so much fun that they need to be private to respect my members. But it was a blast. And so I encourage you, celebrate the people you love, whether it's your mom, like I got to, or your best friend, or your mother-in-law, like I talked about last week. Nellie then went back-to-back trips with me, Bahamas and then Jamaica. Or your neighbor. Celebrate the people that you love. Take time to go on trips together. There is nothing more fun than a girls' trip, and I say this coming from a place where I love traveling with my husband. We're getting ready to go somewhere for his 40th birthday, but it is a different experience going on a girls' trip. So he's going to listen to this, and he's going to get his feelings hurt, but I'm just saying it's a different experience. If you haven't been on a girls' trip, then you will just not understand the camaraderie and sisterhood. I mean, they don't have the books and the movies, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, for nothing. Like, you create a friendship when you travel together in a way that is unlike any other. So where next for our whimsical women? You'll just have to stay tuned to see where we're going to go and maybe even join us. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of Talk Travel with Heather Tate. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, make it an adventure, whether it's near or far. Life is short. Take the trip. You won't regret it.